So one of the, I think, cornerstones of CTE is making sure that there are business partners that are providing their input. And so we have a lot of very strong Ag Advisory Committee members from this community, as well as statewide really, that provide quite a bit of input into how we do things around here. So for example, our facilities development has really been guided by the input of people in our local industry who have said, hey, these kids are coming out and we've got jobs in the nursery industry that they're not prepared for. So we ramp up action in our greenhouse. Or, hey, some of these kids, they don't really know much about how to handle livestock, hence the development of our poultry shed. So even though they're not cattle, you're learning about the ways of animal husbandry. And so they're guiding a lot of the facilities development, the programmatic big pieces of the development. I think within some of our components of our curriculum, they have a lot of input. So in our agriculture mechanics courses, our industry partners are saying, hey, we need kids who can do this. And so there's a lot of development and input there. In terms of the agri-sciences, there's probably a little less of it, but there's still a sense that they have input available. We host 3 Ag Advisory Committee meetings per year, where basically that's the chance for the industry to come in and say, here's what's going on in industry, how are you matching that in what you're doing in our program? And so for me, I try to listen a lot and read between the lines and say, okay, our kids don't have a lot of technical information on, for example, breed identification. And that was something 2 years ago. It sounds so basic, but our kids were leaving and one of the industry partners said, hey, your kids don't know what Hereford cattle are. And I said, oh, okay, well, they can do a dissection like nobody's business, but if they don't know some of the technical vocab, then I got to figure out a way to weave that back into our coursework because that's fundamental to what their needs are as the industry. And so there's just a lot of small opportunities based on that relationship and the consistency of communication to ensure that industry does have some input into how things rock and roll around here. And then, they get a lot out of it too, so particularly students who are well equipped from the ag mechanics side, they're coming out with industry skill that has direct relationship to productive careers. So, we're 20 miles from one of the major welding centers on the West Coast. Our students are constantly gaining employment in Stockton doing welding-oriented activities. Some of our students that come out of the agri-sciences are going out and they're, aside from students who are going to some of the major universities in this country, UC Davis and Berkeley and Stanford, Cornell, we're sending students to a lot of these places, but then we have students who enrolled directly in a vet tech certification program because of the direct experiences that they had in our coursework, and that's really done based on industry feedback and then in return, a thank you to the industry by providing good students to go out and work.